Hi, I'm Frances Rick, and I'm a doctoral candidate at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Today I'm talking with Steve Cerisi and Hwan-Kyu Lim about research that they have recently published on U.S. students' performance on math assessments. So tell us a little bit about your study.
Thank you, Francis. So the goal of this study was really to learn more about U.S. students' performance on math tests over time. And the way we did that, we looked at two very different math tests. One was the National Assessment of Educational Progress, which is a test in the United States that tracks students' performance in math, reading, and other subject areas over time. And we looked at the time periods 2003, 2007, and 2011, specifically at 8th grade students in math. And we compared that to the performance of U.S. students in 8th grade on an international mathematics assessment called TIMSS. And TIMSS also administered the test during those 3 years, 2003, 2007, 2011, but also assessed students in 31 other countries. So we wanted to see if the progress we saw on the U.S. specific test mirrored the U.S. students' progress on this other international assessment and how that compared with students in other countries, how they progressed over that same time period.
Interesting. What was the motivation for your research?
When I look at the results of NAEP Mathematical Achievement Test, I found a very interesting trend. There was general improvement of U.S. students in mathematics over time, actually from 2003 to 2015. But I just wondered how much this improvement of U.S. students is meaningful. So I just thought that maybe we can get the answer if we compare that U.S. students' progress with the other progress with the progress of the students in other countries by using international assessment, which measured the similar content with NAEP assessment. So that was my motivation.
Great. And what were your major findings?
Well, we had one overall major finding and then two qualifications. The overall finding was that the progress we saw on NAEP, on the U.S. test, was reflected in the progress of U.S. students in the international assessment. In other words, the students in the U.S. did improve on both assessments. However, the qualifications were, first, that the progress that we saw was mostly for students in the U.S. at the lower level. So what that means is that when we look at students who weren't performing very well in 2003, students in 2007, 2011 tended to perform better. So we had fewer students at the lower level and more at the medium levels. However, the other qualification is that we didn't see that movement at the upper end of the U.S. distribution. So students who were at the higher end, the highest achievement level on NAEP, we didn't see that proportion grow in 2007 and 2011 relative to students in other countries when we put them on the NAEP scale. So the overall finding was that we did see U.S. student progress on both assessments, but that when we looked a little deeper, relative to students in other countries, the progress for U.S. students was from like the bottom to the middle rather than from the middle to the top.
Very interesting. So in terms of policy implications, why are these results important?
There are two reasons. First, the study provides one possibility for connecting the national and international assessment to evaluate the U.S. students' achievement in global context. And second, we found that the average of U.S. students in mathematics was classified into basic NAEP achievement level over time. However, for top 5 countries such as Singapore, China, or South Korea, their average were classified into proficient or advanced level during the same time. So that result suggests that the overall performance of the U.S. students in mathematics did not reach yet the world-class level compared to those top 5 countries. So we can say that this is the wrong way to go for U.S. education, and clearly more work needs to be done for the United States to be a world-class nation in educational achievement.
I see. Anything else to add?
Well, I agree with what Hong Kyu just said about more work needs to be done. I think an important implication of the findings potentially is that what the improvement we saw actually mirrors the U.S. educational policy during that time under No Child Left Behind, which was really designed to get the bottom students up to proficient. So we see growth in the bottom category where students at the bottom levels were improving, were achieving a higher level. And at the same time during this period, No Child Left Behind was really striving to get students up to proficient. It wasn't striving to get students from proficient to advanced, for example. So to connect Huang Q's remarks to our study, if the U.S. does want to get U.S. students up to world-class standards, so if we look at the top 5 performing countries on TIMSS and see how they improved over time, then we are going to have to focus at that upper end, not just at the bottom.
Makes sense. Thank you both so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Francis.
you.